Hello and thank you for watching. This is Jennifer Bowman with Olympia Piano, and this is video number 2 on the Solfeggietto in C minor by CPE Bach. And in today's video, I'm going to go over some of the transition sections. I'm going to do 8 measures total, measures 5 through 8, and measures 13 through 16. Before we get started with the fingering, I just wanted to mention that sometimes in measures 5 and 6, the way it is printed looks a little bit weird because the editor has blocked it into which hand plays which notes. It's kind of like it's offset by one. So all you need to know is that the stems down are with the left hand, stems up are with the right hand, and we're going to keep our nice rhythm of 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So I'm going to get started with harmony and fingering kind of at the same time because I'd like to give you a practice technique that will help you figure out what fingering is best for your hand. So what we're going to do is we're going to block the broken chords between the hands. We start in measure 5 with finger 2. Then the left hand has a 4-note C minor chord. Right hand has a 3-note C minor chord. So see where your fingers want to go in the middle here, and that's what fingering you should use. Then right hand single note, left hand 4-note F minor chord. We're going through the circle of fifths here, and this turns into an F minor 7 at the end, which leads through the circle of fifths to B flat, single note. See what feels best for your fingers here. Then again, top 3 notes, right hand's going to repeat those, B flat chord, single note, left hand E flat major chord, again through the circle of fifths. Right hand keeps going with that E flat major chord, but in this case adds a major sevenths. And then, so in measure 7 and 8, I like to think of this as a 2 chord and a 5 chord in our new harmony, which is G minor. That would make this measure a diminished 2 in the key of G minor, and then measure 8 is a D7, broken D7. Super spread out D7, and then I like to play the last 4 notes with my right hand, but there are some additions, have it like that. Okay, so let me just play through that. C minor, F minor 7, B flat, major, E flat, major 7, diminished 2, still diminished 2 of the new key, D, 7, 5 of G minor. Couple words on dynamics. You have a lot of options here. I'll show you 2 ways I like to do it. For this section, way number 1, we're going to crescendo to beat 3 and then diminuendo to the next beat 1, crescendo to beat 3, diminuendo. So that would sound like this. We'd come from our scale, crescendo to here, crescendo to here, then get softer, and this is the crescendo. All the way to here, and then reset at maybe mezzo forte. Or you could do the reverse. So diminuendo to beat 3, crescendo to beat 1. That would sound like this. You might be loud here, and then you'd reset at a softer dynamic. And then the only final little technical thing I want to mention is when you're trading off the hands. We talked a lot about trying to be even with the touch in the first video. When we're doing these hand switches with the chords, what I like to suggest is that you play the second 16th note in every group of 4 16th notes. So the E, if you were counting 1 E and sneak in a little bit softer on the E and then lead to the next beat. So I'm going to exaggerate so you hear what I mean. So this would be loud, softer lead to here, softer lead to here, softer lead to here, softer lead. play it quicker with that technique, it gives a little more definition to the contour of the music. So the technique for the D7 section is going to be down, 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 little mini down motions. And then here is going to be over the top circle. Now let's address measures 13 through 16. Let's go ahead and do the fingering and the harmony. We have G minor, then G7. Then here, your left hand's going to go on top and your right hand's going to come underneath. 1-5 for both hands. So C minor, G7. Same thing here. C minor, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5. C7. Still 1, 2, 3, 5. Same pattern here harmonically, just a different key this time. F minor, 1, 5. And then here, instead of doing 5 on that black, I'd like to do 4 when it turns into that C7. And then we're into the F minor. So block to feel those chords and harmonies. In terms of motion, I talked in the first video about making some circles, and this is a great example of that for measures 13 and 15. First, we're going to go touch, under, over. Then second one, over first, under. Then where you're playing these G octaves, try not to play them from above the keys, but rather rock your hand back and forth and keep your fingers on the keys and play these legato. Touch. You hear when I'm doing that? I'm giving the slight emphasis to the pinky. Touch, down, up, switch to F. Same thing here. Touch, under, over, under. Same thing here. Touch, back and forth. And that's going to be a 4-note group. So in terms of articulation, we have a couple of options. In the forte measures, which would be 13 and 15, you could either play the quarter notes detached like this, because these are going to be detached. So the other way you could do this in terms of the articulation is to hold, release, hold, release. Then here, we're going to play these very softly, bringing out the top note of the left hand, so left hand thumb. Hold, release, hold, release. Myself, I like to do a little crescendo to lead into that. And so a final word on dynamics. I think the second chord in measures 13 and 15 is the louder one. So we have kind of like the regular minor chord, then a little louder, soft, 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 loud, a little louder. So practice techniques for these two sections are going to be the same as in video number 1. So I'm going to start by doing metronome equals 80, 2 clicks per beat. So the metronome is beating on 8th notes. Here we go. 3 and 4 and lead, 2 beat 3, then fade and lead, 2 beat 3. Keep your hands nice and focused, always flowing. Now let's do that same one at 120, then we'll do the same for the other measures. So this is much faster now. All right, here's measures 13 through 16. Click is to the 8th note, 3 and 4 and. Release, over, under, touch. Left hand's louder than the right hand. A little louder. tiny crescendo there. 3 and 4 and. So you're always keeping your fingers focused, flowing through the wrists, and having fun. That's the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your support of my channel, whether that be sharing with other people who enjoy this style of teaching, subscribing, donating, or spreading the word in other ways. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you taking the time to learn this great piece. It's a really, really fun piece to play. I sincerely love to hear how music can bring us together from all over the globe, and that's why I always ask where you're from. So as always, thank you for watching.